guys. Rick Shaw here. It's the 18th of May. We have our little buddy's birthday tomorrow. So we left early today. It was 1:30, 15 to 2, something like that, so we could beat the traffic. And we had a little bit of trading to do. And one of the things we wanted to do was Geronimo wanted a helicopter kick. So my wife, we stayed out in the car. You know, we could take the kids in to the mall because I've seen kids in there before, but I don't want to muzzle their beautiful smiles and make them wear all this face crap. That to me, it just seems ridiculous. So we stayed in the car. We parked in the parking garage, stayed in the car. My sweetie went inside to get the cake. Well, they didn't have one ready, but they were making it, so it took quite a while. And she didn't get the ice cream because she knows that, you know, it got to be close to 5 o'clock, so we knew we were going to be in this horrific traffic around this area coming out of the mall. So she didn't get the ice cream, and I said, "Oh, no worries, we'll get it at 7-Eleven on the way home. They have ice cream there, or I call it Aldi's, but it's the other one. I forget the name of that one. They have ice cream there too. So, and for tomorrow, and we stopped up at S&R and got some pizzas. We'll just heat them up in the oven. I'm so glad we got that oven now. So we're coming back through the traffic, and I got my blinker on. It was kind of really trafficy coming up to the 7-Eleven close to our house. And I got my blinker on to make the right-hand turn, and these dang motorbikes filter in there like crazy. One of them almost ran into the side of us. And the thing that gets me is the LTO here gives no training on driving at all. There's nothing. I got my license. I got nothing from them. No rules, no laws, no nothing. And these guys they just don't know how to drive. They don't know how to keep themselves safe. So I'm stuck, and they just keep filtering all around me. I can't get in. Finally, I get in. I finally get into 7-Eleven. But this passing on the right stuff is really a horrible thing that they do here on the bikes. Everybody's so cutthroat here. You know, we usually are staying away from Lipa over here at around 5. It's just a nightmare. And but we got stuck. It took him a long time to put the cake together for the boy. That's what he wanted. So, you know, I was okay with. I told him, "Oh, it's okay. I'll just wait." She was texting me. I said, "No, we'll just wait. We'll get the ice cream on the way home so it don't melt," because I knew we were going to be stuck in traffic. So our trip at 1:30, 2 o'clock to get there only took us about 10 minutes, and to get home was 35 minutes. It just was absolutely ridiculous, the traffic here. When we were coming down the one road, the other side was all blocked up. And it's just because people are cutting in and out. You know, pick a lane, stay there, and everything will move good. But you get these jamokes that shoot out to the right, and it'll actually, you know, and there's a blockage in the road because of construction or something like that, and they still try to shoot in front of you, and they bully you, and they do all this stuff. It's really not a good place to drive. You have to be very careful of this. And if you're a new expat coming here from the States or even from Europe, be ready for these undisciplined drivers, guys. Just be absolutely careful. You got to keep your head on a swivel and watch around, because they don't care. I used to make a joke to my wife that Filipinos wake up in the morning and say, "How am I going to get myself killed today?" I said, I'm serious. When they get in a car or on a motorbike, they just don't care about their own safety. We had people shooting by us at these high speeds in traffic, and cars are darting in and out. They're not looking. I was watching up ahead when I drive, and you'll see drivers they'll just go over to the right, no blinker, and they don't turn their head to look. Their heads are going straight forward. Another thing that you really have to watch out for. I don't know why they wasted the money on the third brake light in this country, because most everybody except us has the windows tinted out so bad that you couldn't see through a third brake light anyway. And it's tough in traffic when you can't see through the car in front of you. Normally, I'll be driving along in the States. I'll see through the cars in front of me and see a couple cars up hitting their brakes. I'm already slowing down and ready for it. You don't get any of that here. You just don't. I'm surprised there's not more accidents than there are. But it's just a nightmare driving. That's why we like to head Malvar, or we like to go out to this Padre Garcia area. We didn't stop and get the fruit. There was a nice row where we were going to get the fruit, but it was so trafficy. Not car friendly, guys. These places just are not car friendly. Even when I was pulling into 7-Eleven, some lady was in a huge SUV, and she had no idea how to drive it. Little tiny woman. You could just see her head over the steering wheel like the little Where's the Beef lady, and she's doing like a 90-point turn to try to back into this spot. And I'm sitting there waiting for her to try to do this maneuver, and she can't. She had a couple feet on either side of this truck that she could have backed up, but she'd go back a couple inches, stop, cut the wheel all the way over, pull forward a couple inches, stop, cut it again. And I'm sitting there watching this and thinking, boy, I wished I would have had my camera so you guys could have seen this. It's just ridiculous. It amazes me, the skill level here of driving. It's just unbelievable. So we had that's a kind of a thing that you guys are going to have to deal with when you come here. Get used to it because it's not going to change. Hi, handsome. We had today. I went down and talked to them. I had a whole bunch of pictures of these dogs running the area, and so this time, what was really cool, I went down there to talk to them, and I had pictures on the phone and a couple videos, and I told them where the dogs were from. There. And they sent a guy on a motorcycle and a guy in a couple guys in the ambulance from the Baron guy right away. Before I walked back to the house, they were passing us, and my wife had talked to them, so they were coming out there to talk to these people, because this dog thing in this area is just terrible. We went out for a little walk here just a little bit ago, and I had the flashlight, and I went ahead and had some plastic bags in my hand, and I picked up 6 piles of poop on our walk. I'm doing that. I don't even own a dog now, and all of a sudden I'm the poop picker-upper in this area. People are just so undisciplined here. I don't know what they even have these dogs for. The one fellow that's dog was running around, he's got it on a chain now. Now the other one gets out. The other guy over here's dog jumps over the fence, jumped over my fence, tore our garbage all up. I shouldn't have to be doing this. I really shouldn't. And hopefully the Baron guy got it taken care of this time. Know this when you come here, expats. Probably you'll never escape it if you live in this, Luzon area, southern Luzon. I don't think you're going to escape it, because no matter where we go, this is what you get. There's dog crap everywhere. That one dog that's coming around here harasses us when we walk. It thinks this entire development's its turf, and if you're coming up on it, it doesn't try to run away. It stops and growls at you. I had a couple good swings with the stick, but I haven't caught it yet. I'd like to get a pellet gun and shoot the damn thing. It just kind of is a real bummer that this is something we deal with. Now tonight when we walked, there were no dogs out, but remnants of the dog. I had to go pick up the damn poop. I'm glad I brought enough bags. But don't walk at night without a flashlight, or you'll be stepping in a dog pie. That's just how it is here. And most of the people here are good with their dogs. Raul over there, he's got that little miniature Doberman. I call it a miniature Dachshund in one of the videos, but it's a miniature Doberman. Got it on a leash. JR over here takes his dog on a leash. There's another old gentleman here. I haven't talked to him yet, but he's got a real nice. It looks like a lab setter mix, 40-pound dog or so. He's got a scooper. That dog poops, he scoops it up. He's pretty cool. So there are people here that do take good care of their animals. They take them to the vet. They care for them just like Westerners do. But the bulk of them, even in here, are just let them run. They let them do whatever they want, rip people's garbage up, and they don't care. They won't come over here and clean my garbage up. I have to do it. I'm the one picking up the poop here. So just know when you come to this country, the discipline of the people is sorely lacking. Some people, the Filipinos, hit me on this, saying, "Oh, well, why don't you go back to your own country?" Blah, blah, blah. That's not the point, you knuckleheads. That is not the point. I live here. This is my home. This is where I'm raising my kids. And guess what? My kids will not drive like that. And they will not have animals like that crap that they don't pick it up. The kids are learning right now. You don't do that. This is what I'm going to teach them. Why can't Filipinos teach their children that? Why can't you discipline your children and teach them this stuff not to do? You know, I see Filipinos getting aggravated at the drivers, and I see them getting aggravated at the dogs. These guys over here complain like crazy about the loose dogs. So what's the deal? Come on, Filipinos, wake up. Move into the 21st century or 20th century. This is just ludicrous how some of this stuff goes. But we're set up for the birthday party tomorrow. We did find the helicopter cake. They had to make it. And we got some pizzas all heat up in the oven, and I don't think too many folks are going to come because it's the middle of the week. But we have some company coming on the weekend, which is going to be kind of nice. It's the COVID response here is a little bit more lax than it is up where we used to live. They don't harass you as much down here. There's not that many cases. I don't, you guys know from my videos before, I'm not buying any of this baloney anyway. You look at all these people up on, running the show. It's just not there. It doesn't seem real. And then, these hospitals are full of blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I heard that too. I have a lot of family that work in healthcare. I remember when they did an article, this was back in April or May of last year, a year ago, and they did this huge article on, the clinic in Ohio was overrun. Well, guess what? I got family that works there. Nope. Look at you guys open up your eyes and take a look at these TikTok videos of these nurses with all this. If they're so damn busy, why do they got times to put on these dancing shows and do all this stuff? Come on, guys. You got to wake up and start using your head. It's not real. These tests that they're doing, now it's a money grab. You look at people coming to this country. Why don't they test them when they first get here? Period. End of story. Positive, quarantine. Not positive, cut them loose. But no, they make you stay in the jail for 10 days. Then they're testing you. This is the word I'm getting. Then they're testing you. Then if you're positive, which is a faulty test, you can't go get another one. You go get another one that says negative. They don't care. Now you got 14 days, and you pay for all this. So it's a money grab. Come on, guys. Wake up. It's a money grab. There's, everybody I talk to around here, I ask them. I talk to the neighbor over here, the couple neighbors over here, the other one down there. Do you know anybody who's really had it? No. I haven't gotten a positive answer since I've moved into this area of the people I talk to. I talked to one little old grandma lady over here at the store. Super nice little old lady, real good English. She was in America for 20 years. She started out as a caretaker, and then she married, but the fellow passed away, so she came back here to retire. And she's up here with her children, and she's not buying it. And she says she ain't wearing a mask either. She just is not buying this crap. And she said when it first happened, she refused. She said I wasn't going to wear one, and she was harassed, but because she's old, she's in her 80s. Because she was old, she told him just leave me alone and just walked away. So she wasn't given tickets or harassed or anything. But she wasn't buying it. She wasn't worried about catching this. It's the flu. She said she never had a flu shot. She's never had the flu, and they used to offer it to her because when she first got to the States, she worked in healthcare. She was in a healthcare. She said she was actually married here before and had kids, but then that husband passed away. And then she went OFW to America to help, support the family, her kids. I think she said she had 7, and luckily all boys. And then, she did her thing there, and then now she's back. And she said she just wasn't buying it. She didn't. She just doesn't get the whole thing behind it. And there's a lady that she seemed really sharp to me. For her age, she was sharp as a tack, moves around good. She's not like an old lady. She's in good shape. She eats good. She says they offered her shots all the time when she was in the States working in healthcare, and she never took a flu shot. She goes, "What for?" "I don't get the flu. I never had the flu." And I asked her since she's been back here. She says she's been back here 8 years now. She worked from 50s till she was in her 70s. And she said, "I haven't been sick since I've been back." She says this is a good climate. She said she was up in Wisconsin when she first got there, and I talked to her for an hour. And she said she was in Wisconsin, and she would get colds because of the cold weather. She wasn't used to it, didn't like it, and then she wound up moving out California. She got out with a caretaker place out in California. And she said she liked that weather a lot better. And now she's back here, loves it. Glad she's back with her family. Was gone for 20 whole years and never came back one time. And I said, wow, that's really something. Just sending money, to help her kids get up and going. But they seem to be doing really well. And that's just one Filipina that's not buying it. And I'm running into a lot of them that just aren't buying this hokum that they're foisting on us. That was a big joke I remember from a long time ago. They had guys at the Indian reservation, and all of the bunch of these politicians came down there, and the one state senator come down, and he starts giving a speech, and the Indians started going, "Hokum, hokum." And then he's getting all chest pumped. "Yeah, and I'm going to get you guys better schools for your children." And the Indians are, "Hokum, hokum." And they're going, and he's starting to tell them all this stuff he's going to give them, and these guys are shouting at us, "Hokum, hokum," and he's all looking happy. And he gets all done, and they're supposed to jump on the plane to leave, and he says, "No, I'd like to tour the reservation. These people love me." And so they start going around to the different areas on the reservation where they're growing corn and they're doing this and that. Finally, they get over the farm area and they're raising these prize bulls. And so he goes in the barn, and the one Indian says, "Hey, just be careful when you walk in there. Don't step in the hokum." And that's what I seem to think we're getting a lot of right now. I'm just not buying it. Sorry, guys. And you guys, you trolls can jump all over me all you want. I just don't give a damn. I'm just getting tired of answering you. If you can't wake up and smell the coffee, just go away. Just go away. This is the biggest pile of baloney that's been foisted on the human race in hundreds of years. It's just this huge joke. And people are starting to wake up. News media ain't going to put it out there. They're not going to put out there that people are waking up on this. They're going to sucker you into thinking that you're all alone, that it's just you thinking like that. Baloney. Everybody I talk to feels the same way. So, but I'm going to let you go. Wasn't too bad. I'm getting used to this traffic. I mean, I don't get in a hurry anymore. I just don't. If you're going to come here, and if you're one of these angry drivers around here, it's best not to drive. The other thing, my wife was actually complaining too, because where we used to live, when we lived in GMA and we lived in Cavite, jeepneys and tricycles were pretty inexpensive. And here, we used to drive from the one place that she would always take the ride home was 10 pesos. But if you took, that was on that mini truck, little Suzuki thing. If she took that or the L300 one, it was 10 pesos. But if she took the jeepney, which entailed a tiny walk, it was 8 pesos. But here, these little short trips, they want 20 pesos, and she was really complaining about the cost of, here everything seems a little more expensive. If you're in the town of Lipa, now if you're coming from America and you just get here, you're going to think it's great. It's very cheap. But if you get away from this area, you're going to find out. We stopped to look at watermelons at 160 and 180. Not going to buy them, guys. I'm not going to pay that. We're gonna jump in the car tomorrow in the afternoon. We're going to drive down to Padre Garcia and get it for $100. And then 120 for a yellow one. I'm just not going to pay these high prices in the town here. And it seems like it's almost everywhere. There's a couple places in the market where they have their prices on there. And I dealt with one little lady when I was buying a bunch of stuff. My wife was on one side, I was on the other, and I was getting stuff. And I just, when it was all tabulated up, it was up to $835 or something. And I says, here, how about just $800? And the lady's like, it's $835. So I just put my money in my pocket and walked over to my wife. And then the lady came over, took the $800. Yeah. But some of them are okay. But the prices here, when you come to spend your money, it's a little bit higher here. And the traveling is a little bit higher here. Tricycles too. I took tricycles on the back of one with my wife in there and the kids, and we went a pretty long distance, and it would cost us 50 pesos to travel out to the market or something like that, the Carmona market, which is a pretty good ride. That same ride here is over 100. It's a lot more, and it's just what they're charging here. And it's not that they're trying to gouge me or anything. They catch my wife and they're charging her. So you come to this area, just know that all that stuff's going to be a little bit higher. But once you get away from here, get away from this city. I'm glad we're kind of out on the edge of the city and we can head out the other way. I did see a map where I can head out Padre Garcia, and then I can head left to head out to the ocean, or I can go right and it'll take me up to the side roads going to Malvar and by the mountain. So that's pretty much how we're going to do it here. We're just the way I want to do it. We got our little stainless steel stands that go up above the toilet in the bathroom. Those were a Lazada thing, and I got those yesterday and assembled them. They were kind of smashied. They were ZX, I guess that would be ZMX delivery. The boxes were kind of crunched, but the pieces that were crunched were just little crossbars, and I put them in the back. And then there's a stainless steel cover goes over it, so you didn't notice it. I didn't fuss with it. And the one it was funny. The first box I opened was one screw short, and I thought, oh, crap. I'm going to be going to the hardware store to buy one stupid stainless bolt, if I can get it. So I just opened up the other box and took one out to finish the first one. But when I was counting the bolts in the second box, it had one extra. So it all worked out. And then it had a whole bunch of extra plastic pieces in it. I don't know what all that was, but we got them both up. We bought the same for both bathrooms. They're very nice. I kind of like them. But when you're putting those together, and I've run into this a lot of times, when you're putting those stands, whether they're wood or metal, that back brace goes behind the toilet. Don't ever put that on until the stand is in place. Then put that one on, while it's sitting around the toilet. I know it's a pain in the ass, but it's the only way to do it. Because most of these toilets are either stuck up against the wall, or they got a pipe in the way, or something going to keep them from installing. So you have to put that on last. Both of our toilets are tight against the wall here. These toilets are actually really nice toilets. They got glazed traps in them. Something else, when you're coming here and you're buying a toilet, if you go into these stores and you're looking at toilets, in the States, if it's got a glazed trap, it's more money. If it's got that unglazed trap that the poop's going to get stuck in, they're still almost the same price. They just go on looks here. So I guess they make more money on those, but be careful you don't get those here. They're nothing but problematic. I don't care where in the world you go. And with this low volume of water, these are both 3.5 liter. They use 3.5 liter for the poop flush, and then there's another button for the pee flush, which is 2 liter. So they don't use a lot of water, but make sure you get the glazed trap. These things flush great. We're not having any problems. They get everything in one gulp. My septic tank they put in here is huge. It's a lot bigger than in our old house. I worried about getting that sucked out, but it's working fine. The people living there, it's working fine for them. But I will put some Rid-X down the toilet after maybe early next year. make sure it starts eating that stuff up. I'm watching, making sure no animal fats go down the sink. That messes up your bacteria in your septic. And the sad thing is, I wish the gray water, like from the sinks and the floor drains, would have just went out to this thing, but everything runs into the septic here. So that's why I want to get some of that Rid-X running down there, and I can get it on Lazada. I also watch, I believe it was Pokemon, you sent me about the tuning fork, the 4096C tuning fork. It's on the way. I couldn't find the price you sent me, but I got it for $3.56, and then I had a free shipping coupon, and I actually had a couple percent too. But I got that. It's on the way. So it was $3.56 without the shipping, and then I think I got it for $3.26 or $3.25, something like that, because I had a percent or something like that. And so that's on its way. I should be getting that pretty soon. We do have in this place, they don't let anyone in, so I don't know how CODs are going to work, but I'm not, I did my Lazada one this morning. I'm not doing any more debit card. I had a credit card here, but I hadn't used it, so it isn't completely shut off, but it's non-usable right now. I have to go there. I have to go back to the bank. I wanted to do that today, but I couldn't because it took so long at the SM and then at the SR, and it got late, so the bank's closed here early. So I'll get out there and do that and get that thing reinstated and worked, and I'll use a credit card for that kind of stuff. I have one here. I'm not a credit card user, but in order to protect these things that you buy from Lazada, I would not use a debit card if I were you guys. Just don't use it. I think they deliberately do that because they've done it to me so many times, and then every single time it's not. They say 45 days to give you your money back. This is 2021, guys. This is instantaneous stuff. And they're going to tell me 45 working days, not weekdays. And if there's a holiday, you have to count for all that. And then after that, then they want to stick it in the wallet so that you have to buy from them again. I'm not liking that. And then somebody else left a comment on there about the Gcash, which I'm set up for Gcash now, and they said you can put money in your Gcash account. So that was cool. I got on there, I read all the stuff, and then he told me something about the Gcash. If you put more than 8,000 pesos in there, they're going to hit you with a percentage that they're going to take your money. I did not know that, and I didn't read that anywhere. So apparently I didn't read far enough, but guys, look into that if you're going to put a lot. Now, sometimes I want to buy something might be 15,000, 20,000 pesos. So that means for me, Gcash would be out because I'm not going to put that money in there so they can take a big chunk of it. 10%, I think, is what he said. But it's in the comments. Take a look in the comments. I'm going to look into that a little further. But I just don't like how they do it. And I've had some people get on there say, they don't have any problem with COD. But for some reason, when I was at the other house and I would put COD, it pops up not available for me. I don't know if it's special or what, but a lot of times I try to buy stuff. Everything I bought that I bought for here, I was going to do COD, and just to try it to see how it works with the guard check and all that. It wasn't available for me anyway. So some people are saying, I buy everything COD off of Lazada. Well, sorry guys, that's you. I wish I had the same luck as you did, because any chance I get, I buy it COD, because I don't want them dealing with where they just take my money. They got $60 of my money, and they're just not giving it back. And you get these same kids on the phone that, yes, we're so sorry. I'm so sick of that. I'm sick of this. So sorry. I'm so sorry. And nothing happens with these guys. So that's just how that goes. But we got a 4-year-old tomorrow. He's a 4-year-old baby tomorrow, and he's growing like a bad weed. We still got his doctor's appointment on the 3rd to the 4th. We're going to be taking him in for that and checking him out real good, see what the heck's going on. He is the most beautiful kid. He's a really loving baby. Well, all these kids are. They are. I get showered with hugs from all these guys constantly, and I just dig it. I feel like I'm one of the luckiest guys on the planet. These are beautiful, beautiful babies. I keep a good eye on them. That's why I'm so freaked out about the dogs. If it was just me, when I first moved to the Philippines and there were all the dogs around, I never even thought about it until after Dorothy was born and she started getting out and about. That's when I started, taking offense to all these damn dogs. I'm not worried about them. I'll clobber the crap out of them. They want to come bite me, I'll pick them up and body slam them and kill them. I don't have a problem with that. But what's my little baby going to do when they're chewing their faces off? I left the thing in a message on there before. Our friend, it's a friend, we were at a big barbecue, and the neighbor dog got over the fence and for some reason beelined right to his boy's face and chewed the kid's face off. I mean, chewed the face off. And I saw that kid in 2016, and I believe 30-something, and that kid's face is still they just couldn't fix it. All the surgeries they did to the face and plastic surgeries, he's still maimed. And look what happened to that poor baby's life. Look what happened to the life of that one because of a stinking loose dog. These people can't control their dogs, and I just don't go for it. I would sure love to have my contender 410. Because any dog gets near me, I just shoot them, but they don't allow you to have that here. You're not allowed to. You're a foreigner here. You can forget having a firearm. Your wife can have one. She can have one, which is good. I'm glad she can have plenty. Something else I learned a long time ago. Somebody said on there, "Oh, you have implements, that swords and knives and stuff." Well, there's a reasoning behind that. You're upstairs in bed. I have all kinds of things that are going to alert me to some foreign presence in my house, and if they're dumb enough to pick up one of my implements, like a knife or something like that, guess what? That's justification to shoot them pricks in the face. So there. Deal with that, you criminals. But this place, I feel pretty safe here. I'm not having a problem. The neighbors a lot of them are always watching out. You can see them out and about. Even late, I got up the one morning at about 2 and I took a hike, just a short one, and see an old fella out walking his dog. And I was like, "Hey, neighbor," and he said, "Oh, what are you doing up?" I said, "Oh, just out, same as you. It's out for a walk." He says, "You ought to get a dog." I says, "I'm looking for one. We're looking for a dog right now." So, just an alert dog, something we're going to keep in the house. I haven't heard from the neighbor yet on the Jack Russell Terriers. Somebody sent me a thing about Jack Russells here for sale. They bought one, and I went to the Facebook and punched in the information you gave me, and nothing. I got nothing off of Facebook. I go to these, I punched in Jack Russell on Facebook to look also, and they got all kinds of these Jack Russell clubs of the Philippines, but not for sale. So I'm just not having any luck. I definitely want to get a dog in here, and something that's going to be our buddy. I pray to the good Lord we get a good one. I've been very fortunate my whole life. I've never had a bad dog. They've all been good. Had a couple hunting dogs I didn't think much of. Sold them. But as for all the house dogs I ever had, and all my dogs were house dogs. I've had you name it. I've even had real big ones that lived in the house. Had a Great Dane lived in the house. Slept in the bed with me. 172-pound Great Dane. Just loved him to death. But we're hoping the good Lord we find a nice dog for here, and I'll train him to heel up so that we don't have problems like the neighbors do. And if we do go out, I always was able to have them. I time their feedings, have them poop here and then take them for a walk, so I didn't have to pooper scooper. But we'll take a pooper scooper if we have to. I'm not gonna do like Filipinos and leave dog crap all over. I mean, what would these people think if I would walk out in front of their house, pull my pants down, and take a damn dump in front of their house? They'd be raising holy hell, but they don't think nothing about their dog coming right out here and taking a big dump in front of my house. They don't even think about that. You know, this is the mentality here, guys. You're gonna have to get used to it, because it doesn't seem to me like you can get away from it. Nowhere on this island that I've been can you escape what I'm telling you about. And you Filipinos can, well, you just well, go back to your own country. Yes, yeah. Why don't you go somewhere else? Or why don't you start training your people and your kids and your animals? Why don't you do that instead of getting mad at me over what I say about what I see here? I'm not making any of this stuff up. This is all just what I see, and this is what I'm reporting on. Newscasters do it all day. Do you blame a newscaster that goes out and reports a murder? Do you blame him for murdering the guy? Or do you say he's complaining? Come on, guys, give me a break. I get sick of you trolls, so I'm going to let you go. Don't forget to pray for each other, and you know, guys, it's going to be not that long when this should open up. I think after the election is what I'm betting. It's going to be, I don't think it's going to be this year. I do not think it's going to be this year. I think it's going to be after the election. If Manny Pacquiao runs, I'm not getting into Filipino politics, guys. I'm just saying, if that guy runs, I'll bet you he'll get in. I'll bet you $100 he'll get in, because the Filipinos love Manny Pacquiao, and maybe it's time for somebody young and fresh to get in there. You know, I look at countries around the world, and they get all these old codgers in there, and they just don't think like young people. You know, they start wars, they do all these rotten things, and they send young people off to wars. You look at my country, what do? They're sending people off to war all the time. You look at all this crap that looked like with Saddam. Saddam was our buddy over there. And then they conned him and said, yeah, you want to go into Kuwait? No problem. And then they went over there and smashed him so they could start taking over that whole region and have wars, because they're making a lot of money at it. I'm just sick of all that stuff. You know, all this news that you're getting in, it's all propaganda baloney. You know, I lost some nephews with all this war baloney stuff, and it's just not friends. You know, it just was terrible. I had some buddies that were, they weren't even like really war fighters. They were guys who made water. They made fresh drinking water, and one of them scuds hit their base and killed some of my friends, you know, and wounded another one. You know, what are we doing there? What the heck are we doing? How is that protecting the U.S.? How is that protecting our shores? I'd like to see somebody get in there that just says, we're going to protect this area. And, yeah, you do have to go out a little ways and make sure other things don't happen. But do it with diplomacy. Don't start another war. All these dang wars. They got us all conned into that with this 9/11 crap. And I didn't buy that when it happened. You know, and all this stuff, and with these fiat currencies that these guys foist on us. Kennedy was against that. What'd they do? They killed him. Guys, they killed him. You know, because they don't want to take that. Think about it. When you had $1 before, what you could buy for $1. I remember my mother told me that when she was young, when her and my dad got married, they had $35 a week. And she said, we lived in a hotel with room service, and could go anywhere and do whatever they want. They were partying all this, just had a blast. And now with the way they stole the money from this fiat currency and they keep printing more, it just devalued it so much that it's not worth anything. That same thing now, it's going to cost you a couple $1,000 a month to live like that. So they've devalued the money by so much. You know, and it's a royal shame. And you guys don't, so many people I talk to don't even know what a fiat currency is. There's nothing that backs it. This country used to be backed by gold and silver. Nixon took us off of that. Roosevelt worked on that. They just wanted to get us off the backing of gold and silver so that they could just print more and spend all they want and start all these wars. And who's getting rich on that? These politicians are. Come on, you look at all the politicians in the United States, they're all multi-millionaires, all of them. Their families are. Come on, guys. It's royalty. It's royalty and peasants. That's all there are. There's no three classes. Don't ever say there's a middle class in the U.S. because there just isn't. There's the royalty and there's the peasants. And you'll do as they say, and you'll put your stupid muzzle on, and you'll do this, and you'll do that, or else, or we're going to send the federales after your ass, and you're done for. And they do it everywhere. I mean, they're doing it. History repeats itself. This has been done before, and it's happening. It's happening right before your eyes, guys. And we've got the internet now, where we can get this out. But so many people that I see, even on this channel, that they're just not buying it. They're stuck in their own head in the sand, and nope, they can't see it because they won't open up their eyes and look at it. And it just shocks me. And they tell me I'm a nut. One guy got on, you're nuts. Okay, do your ad homs. Go ahead. I don't care. You want to speak your stuff? I'm done talking to you. I've had other ones on here that did the same thing. They just kept hitting me with stuff. Okay, you can just make your comments. I'll let other people answer them. I'm not talking to you anymore. I'm not wasting my time on folks like you. So, but there's my baby. You want to do it for me? Well, get up there. Go on. Climb up.
Picture of bye-bye.
What do you say? You say, don't forget to pray for each other.
Don't forget to pray for each other.
Okay. All righty. We'll see you guys.